Right, my beautiful people. So today we're going to be talking about the three different types of sentences, which are simple sentence, compound sentence, and complex sentence. And we're not going to be doing two videos. I'm just going to be doing this one video because I don't think it requires that much. It doesn't require that much expansion as we normally do. So there's just one video. It's fairly simple. Okay, so let's begin with the reading. What you're going to do is you're going to take this link. There you go. I forgot the name. You're going to take the link. You're going to plug it into the internet, obviously, and then you are going to listen to this reading. Now, here is my recommendation. Highlight the words you don't know so that you learn what they mean and so forth. I would also recommend you reading it before and then listening to it and see how it goes. I know you may or may not do this, but this is just for your benefit. So if you choose to do this, yay. If not, then I just highly recommend it. So let's begin. What we have is simple sentences, compound sentences, and complex sentences. These are the types of sentences that we are going to form. Now, in English, there's something called independent clause and dependent clause. Now, here in our case, in this worksheet, they just call it clause, but it's actually independent clause. To move my microphone, you guys. So it could be known as clause or independent clause. Most likely, if you're going to hear it outside, it's called independent clause. And independent means that it could stand by itself. It is self-sufficient. It doesn't need any help. It could be by itself. And the way we form these, you guys have seen these all the time. You use them all the time in your writing, which is fantastic. The way we form these, you guys, is by having a subject and a verb, and then that would be enough. We can add things to it, but we don't have to. What we do have to have is a subject and a verb. For example, he ate. That's a complete sentence, and that is an independent clause. It just so happens that simple sentences are basically just one independent clause. So, for example, Maria loves tacos. Maria loves. We have the subject, the verb, and then whatever it is that you want to add to it, right? Which is, the direct object. So we have Maria loves tacos, one clause, and it's a simple sentence. That's how we form them. John, sorry guys, runs every day. Simple sentence, nothing much to it, okay? He eats chicken for lunch every Tuesday, okay? That, again, it's longer than the first one, it's longer than Maria loves tacos, but it's still a simple sentence. We have the subject, we have the verb, and then we have the direct object, and then we have the object of the preposition, okay? So that's that. Okay, fairly simple. You guys, if you have questions, feel free to message me. Let me know that you are having or struggling, any doubts, anything that you want to talk about. The next type of sentence that we have is called a compound sentence. Now, a compound sentence takes two independent clauses and puts them together through a conjunction. Now, last chapter or last module, we talked about coordinating conjunctions like the fanboys, right? For, or, nor, right? And, or, but. Our lovely friends, let's write them down and review them. Hold on, you guys. I really need to move this thing away from my computer. Okay. So the conjunctions are that we normally use are for, right? Let's do the fanboys. Okay. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, and finally we have so. Okay, so is the last one. I didn't write and twice. This is just because it's the connection, right? It's the last one of the list, so we put and. Okay, so here we have the examples. So what do we have? We have the independent clause, and then Maria loves tacos, and then we have her brother likes tequila. Now we want to put these two sentences together. So we have to use a coordinating conjunction or something that would link these two sentences together. All right, so let's give this a try. All right, what did we say earlier? John runs every day, but his wife does not. Okay, John runs every day, but his wife does not. He eats chicken for lunch. Oh, sorry. He eats children. Now, he eats chicken for lunch every Tuesday. And he eats fish every Friday. Okay? So what do we have? John runs every day. That's an independent clause. His wife does not. His wife does not. That's also an independent clause. They are put together by a coordinating conjunction, which in this case is but. He eats chicken for lunch every Tuesday. If it stands by itself, it's a simple sentence. And then we want to connect it with another independent clause, which is another simple sentence. So we use and he eats fish every Friday. But if I put he eats fish every Friday by itself, well, that sentence makes sense. We could keep it. We can make sure that people can understand it because it has a subject and it has a verb, and then it has anything else that would need to make sense of that sentence. Okay? So what is a compound sentence? It is two simple sentences put together, or you can say two independent clauses put together. The last one that we are going to talk about is a compound sentence. Now, a compound sentence is made up of an independent clause. Oh, sorry. This is what we talked about earlier. So a complex sentence, So the last one we're going to talk about is a complex sentence. Now, complex sentence is made up of an independent clause and a dependent clause, or also known as a subordinate clause. So what is a subordinate clause? It is a sentence that cannot stand by itself. It's not comprehensible. You need more information for it to make sense. That's why it's dependent. It depends on the independent clause for it to make sense. For example, when Rana makes dessert, all her friends come over. When Rana makes dessert, that is a dependent clause. However, when we say Rana makes dessert, well, that's an independent clause. But because we have a subordinator in front of it, that makes it a subordinate clause, which means that it doesn't stand by itself. It doesn't make sense if I say when Rana makes dessert. It doesn't make sense. Okay? So we have to add more to it. When Rana makes desserts, all her friends come over. Now it makes sense, because what happens when she makes desserts? All the friends come over. So we have more information. So a complex sentence, again, as we said, is made up of an independent clause and a dependent clause, which is also known as a subordinate clause because it starts with a subordinator. Like because, if, when, while, after, even though, although. And of course, there are a lot more than these, but these are just a few. So how does it work? You have the clause plus the subordinator plus the clause, or the subordinator plus the clause plus comma plus the clause. So what does that mean? After we watched the movie, comma, we went to the mall. After we watched the movie, we went to the mall. So here we have sentence structure B. We have the subordinator. We have the clause, which is we watched the movie. Okay, so this is, let me highlight for you guys the subordinator. Then we have we watched the movie. Then we have comma, right? You see it, where it goes. And then we went to the mall is the other clause. We can flip the same sentence. We can say, we went to the mall after we watched the movie. Okay? We went to the mall after we watched the movie. The only difference here when we flip them is that there is no comma. So we still have the clause, and then we have the subordinator, and then we have the other clause as well. Okay, so same thing, we just flip them. We can do either way. Because the fire was hot, I don't know. No, let's do another one. Because the trees were big, we had to cut them down. Again, same structure. We had to cut the trees down because they were big. Notice here that what I did was I put the tree here and not at the end, and not kept it with the other one, because we're introducing something, and here we know that them is talking about trees because we said trees first. So in this case, if we had said we had to cut them down because the trees were big, it doesn't necessarily make sense because we haven't talked about the trees yet, so we don't know what them is. But this is basically the structure for the complex sentences. Again, like we said, very simple. You have the simple sentence, it's an independent clause. You have the compound sentence, which is two independent clauses put together with a conjunction. And then we have the complex sentence, which has a subordinator. Okay? So, let's go ahead and give this a try. Write a compound sentence for each of the conjunctions below. What did we say? Compound sentences, two independent clauses. Okay? So what do we have? Mark loves to drink water. And he loves to drink soda. Mark loves to drink water, and he loves to drink soda. Not the greatest sentence in the world, but it is correct. Okay? So that's an example. She likes to travel, but her job doesn't always allow her to do that. We are happy together, so we are getting married. Okay? So you notice each one of these is an independent clause. Mark loves to drink water. It could stand by itself. He loves to drink soda. It could stand by itself. She likes to travel. Can stand by itself. Her job, this is incorrect. Her job doesn't always allow her to do that. Can stand by itself. We are happy together. We are getting married. Again, they each stand by itself, but they are connected with a conjunction. Okay? So now we have to write a complex sentence, and we have because I went home early because I was sick. Okay? We will have to visit Canada if we want to see our grandparents. We always pack our bags when we travel. We always pack our bags when we travel, okay? So here we have these subordinators, right? Which were given to us, and we just have to connect them with two sentences. Okay, so notice again, if you take away the subordinator, it can stand by itself. I was sick. We want to see our grandparents. We travel, all right? But when we have the subordinator in front of these independent clauses, they become dependent clauses, so we cannot do that. Okay, so here are our exercise says make sure there is a full clause before and after each subordinate clause and no comma. Okay, so this is, again, for this rule, this is why we don't have a comma, because what do we know? This was this one. Okay, so this was A, so it was a clause, a subordinator, and then another clause. So what do we have in this one? Now we have to the subordinator at the beginning, so we have to have a comma. Although we were happy, we could not. All right, although we were happy to see our grandparents, we could not give them a hug. Okay, yeah, there we go. Although we were happy to see our grandparents, we could not give them a hug. While she walked to class, the teacher closed the door. Okay, while she walked to class, the teacher closed the door. After she went home, after she went to the movies, she walked to the mall. Okay, after she went to the movies, she walked to the mall. Again, not the greatest sentences I'm coming up with today, but they work. They are grammatically correct. Again, this is the second structure that we are using. All right, so that's that. Let's correct the errors. If the couple gets married, their families will be happy. Now we started with if, so we need a comma. If the couple gets married, comma, their families will be happy. She really wants to lose weight, so she ate ice cream every day. She really wanted to lose weight, so she ate ice cream. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that sentence. It is a trick question. Okay, although she worked very hard, she got a promotion at the company. Now the error is not grammar nor is it a sentence type. The error is that when we use although, it means the opposite. So it would be, although she worked very hard, she did not get the promotion. Or we can say, because she worked really hard, she got a promotion at the company. Luigi fixed dinner for us, and we loved it. Now, before and, we have to put comma. Okay? Luigi fixed dinner for us, and we loved it. We were frustrated because the test was hard. Now, we can't use comma here because this is because is in the middle of the sentence and not at the beginning. Okay, so this again, for the reading, go ahead and listen to it. It's another one of the NPR ones. So just go ahead and listen to that one. And that is it for this video. If you have any questions, make sure to ask, comment below, anything that you want, and we will be in contact. See you guys in the next video.